friends of the internet. It is February 12th. It is almost Valentine's Day, hence the banner, my outfit. I see a lot of questions on YouTube about Unique Learning System, and I've had a lot of questions of people asking where I am. Well, honestly, I have videos I've filmed, I just haven't uploaded them, and I'm more likely to upload a video that I've filmed that same day, and I don't have any big plans tonight, so I think maybe today is the day. So here's what I'm printing for the Unique Learning System for February, kind of what I do, kind of how I navigate. And if this isn't new to you, then feel free to skip by this video, but I feel like every single time I do something with the Unique Learning System, I'm constantly like adapting and changing what I do. And also, please ignore, my room is like a trash heap. So if you see something in the background that looks like a trash pile, please just ignore that. I've been really good at going home at 4:30. It is now 5:30, but mostly that's because after 5 o'clock, literally no one is here but me and one of the janitors. And I love hogging all the printers to myself, especially because there's a lot of color ink in this and then a lot of black and white copies that I'm making too. And it's just so much easier knowing that I don't have to worry about somebody else printing their stuff in the middle of my pile. Thank goodness we have a colored printer here at school. We have a big laminator too, because I would not do this stuff if I had to pay for it myself. Oh no. So I always have it bookmarked. So this is the main page of News to You. I have Unique Learning System, News to You, and L3 Skills. I enjoy all of them, and I'm going to get symbol sticks next year for my classroom, just because there's a lot of symbols. So like this stuff here over in News to You land, and my trash pile from Valentine's Day stuff. I love the symbols, and I want to be able to find the symbol I want by just searching it up, and I gotta have that. So yes, next year. Anywho, we go to Unique Learning System. You'll see I haven't set the date because I'm going to set that with you guys, most likely, unless I have names in the way. I can't remember if my students' names show up then. Anywho, so we go over here, News to You Library. That's where you can find all of the books that you can assign over here. Can you believe this is the only Valentine's Day book they have, but you can find books like this that you can assign to your students for them to read on their computers, or you can print them. But you can also do unit lessons. So that's always what I do when I'm ready to print. I do leveled PDFs, and then all level 1 activities. So that has all the activities. It doesn't have any of these books in there. We'll get to that. So you can see that you can click on these, but it's easier for me to just kind of scroll through and then write down everything I want. I have a column for color, a column for black and white. And then if I'm doing like this, so like 75 to 77, let's pretend we're printing. Then I know it's just your run-of-the-mill color copy, and I'm not having it be back to back. But say right here, the spelling words, I like to have the tracing on one side and then the actual words on the other. It's just easier for me and for the students. And so that I would do back to back. So I'm just going to run through all of this really quick. Feel free to skip through if you're not interested. And if you didn't know, there's a new L3 Skills game that was added today, and it's a Valentine's Day themed one. I only had one student try it out, and they seemed to like it. Okay, hopefully that just doesn't make you dizzy. This entire first section I just kind of do naturally, so I don't need the printout of it. I do use the digital version of this when it's assigned to the students when it comes up, so I don't have to print this. I did print this one. One thing that annoys me with News to You is, to me, the answers to this should be right underneath it, but it's not. So I printed this. Here's the answers to this, and then there's the answers to this. But there's some other ones where it's like a 20-page difference from where the questions are and where the answers are. I don't print any of that. And then right here, I did print this one because this is something that I know they're not going to get right away. So I like to do things that I know I have to practice a lot. I'll print it so we can practice it with Velcro. So all of this I printed. And then here's the answers for that. As my students, like Juneteenth, Pioneer Day, Mardi Gras, none of that is local or familiar to them. So it'll be a bit harder for them, but we'll get it with practice. Here's our word wall. So obviously I printed all of those. I do the word wall as a part of my morning calendar routine. So we do calendar, word wall, and then over here, math talk. So number of the day sort of thing. Today, coincidentally, was the 100th day of school. That's fun. So yes, word wall, blah, 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 blah. I print out the spelling words, as I said before. It's a single one because I only have 2 students that I send the spelling home with. I do have another student that I do unique learning system too, but he's not into the spelling realm yet. So anyways, 2 students that I do spelling with. So we'll print out all that spelling stuff. I don't do this because we can do it on the computer and they're pretty good at it. In the beginning I printed this, but then I found out that I didn't really need it, that they could do the digital version and they pretty much got it. This right here I do print, but I make it into a little book. So like this, here's the last unit. That we can just practice it a lot. I think it's kind of cute like that. And these are so corny. I shrug when the bug gives my mug a hug. I printed this. Spelling, yep, printed it. Did not print this. Spelling. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I send these home. So it's actually very convenient for me because I have one student that it is beneficial for her to have a picture while she's spelling it or when she's practicing, and I have another that purely just needs the words. So that's convenient, they're on the same one. Those I could make more copies. Okay, don't need any of this. We do it all the digital. The kids really like being able to do this on their computers actually because it's something that's really easy and they're good at. This. I can't believe anyone that would try to do this on the computer unless you were doing it on an iPad perhaps, but it's just so much easier to do like a dry erase. So yes, dry erase, that's what we do. So we do the spelling word of the week and then the letter of the week every single day while we practice our names too. That's just a part of our morning routine. And if I didn't mention it, I print the spelling, so capital is on one side and the lowercase is on the other. I don't remember if I mentioned that. Okay, so this I do print, and I do 2 pages per page so that they're like on a half sheet, just so I don't take up so much space, and we can run through these pretty quickly. I actually put them in a binder with all of the other ones, so then we can just flip through, and it doesn't necessarily matter what unit it is, because I would like to be able to just flip through these and the kids just know all the words. And having it with like a paper copy is just so much easier to practice with the kids, and you're not worrying about different computer problems, and you can just flip through when you got a couple minutes of spare time. So yes, all of those. Okay, and then vocabulary, we do that. So this is all black and white. Then you would think that the words that match this would be directly after, but it's not. It's the match game, which what goes with the match game isn't there either. I have these printed off in a poster. I do print this off because it's something that we can practice, and I love how this one is social studies, because a lot of times social studies is something that gets the boot when you have other things to do. This goes with the writing journal. Don't do it with this group, but I have in the past. And the answers to those that I just printed above, those vocab words, are still not here. more posters. Okay, similar, I do print this out in color and we run through it. I just stick a sticky note over the top of the answer and then we work through them. Another poster, I do this too, prefixes and suffixes, another poster. And oh look, here are the words that go with the vocabulary. It was so confusing to me in the beginning when I first started this because I couldn't find the right answers. And well, here they are 30 pages later. And then here's the match game. I always have to cut them individually and I put them on, say, like a colored piece of paper. Otherwise I have kids that'll read through it and cheat. We don't like cheaters. They love the match game and it's good practice. So this goes if you're doing that like word journal, but mine aren't doing it right now. And then there's the answers that would go with it. Poster. We do this on the computer, and we usually do it on the smartboard first, and then we do it in the computer. That's kind of what I mean when I say we do it in the computer. We do it whole group smartboard and then individually on the computer because I have it assigned to them. And then this section, I again do 2 pages per sheet. So that's this right here. And then we'll do Velcro because it's really hard for a lot of my students to figure out that this is the capital letter, it should go first, this is the period, it should go last, and then figuring out the words that go in the middle. It's something that we're working on, and a couple have IEP goals related to it, so it's just really good practice. And again, I don't necessarily have to do the one from this unit. I can go back if I think they're just remembering the order. So yes, all of these. Sometimes I do this, but I'm not doing it this time. I think last month there was one on bucket filling that I did. I don't do any of the writing journal because I have my own writing stuff I do. This is compare and contrast, so state flowers, state birds. I always do the full-sided one just because the Velcro options fit better than on if you do the little smaller ones. So there's the words that go with it. So pretty. I basically don't print any of the math. My students are pretty good about doing it on their own on their Chromebooks, and I have the noises shut off actually so that if you get it wrong, it's not dinging at you because some of them would just get it wrong on purpose. So now that the noise is off, that's better. I have one copy of this, but I don't print off the new one because we do this every single day and it's the same numbers, it's just different little symbols. So just little Velcro practice. Why did they choose 2 5s, 10s, and then 50s? I mean, I think 25s would have been a better choice because none of my kids know 25, 50, 75, 100, but hey, what do I know? In the beginning of the year, I had this printed off. We were really struggling with place value, but we've really improved, so I haven't been printing this off unless I think that they're cheating. And then I will keep this on the computer, and then I'll just have them use the physical place value blocks that we have here in the classroom to represent it. This is for if you need the hands-on manipulatives for the math. Mine are pretty good at just clicking and counting the stuff on the screen. Here's the place value blocks. Here's the answers that then go with the little place value things I was showing you. Again, it's really inconvenient because it's so far away from the actual questions. I don't do this because I only have 3 students and they generally just copy each other. So if the first person picks picnic, the other 2 are gonna pick picnic. So it's good in theory if you have a larger class, but I don't. And then I usually do the measurement one. It's all fun. We like to travel around and find a nice window or a nice door to measure. And then the craft I always do too. I just do this 2-sided. And then generally if there's 3 pages, I just don't because I have the digital version usually presented on the smartboard while we're doing it. And I can usually figure out the last steps if I don't want to waste that last piece of paper. This is the manipulatives that go with the measurement. Again, not next to the rest of it. These stars go with the craft. Sometimes I print these out, but I already have scissors, glue, tape, a million of them from printing out this sheet. So next year when I have access to the symbol sticks, then I won't have to necessarily print all of these out when I'm just looking for a picture of a string. So that'll be convenient. We do this all on the computer. I have printed versions of these that I pull out when we get to this section of the lessons because even I don't know 12 edges on a cube off the top of my head. It's just so much easier and more efficient for the students to, you know, use the resources and find the answers on their paper. And then this is the shape puzzle. I do have a binder of this, so I always print it off every time. But again, those 3 itty bitty little shapes are really far away from the actual question. I print out this because when you show this lesson, lesson 24, it'll give you this on the first page, and then like the directions are on the next page. And then you have to keep going back from this to see the directions for the next step. So it's just easier to have the printed version for the students to see. And then those are some of the shapes that would go with those above things. And aha, there it is. The pictures that go with the picture puzzle. The recipe for this month looks delicious, so double-sided this, can't wait to make it. I don't usually do the review, and I don't do this. Sometimes I've thought about doing the steps, but we just lose track of the pieces when we're trying to make things, and like you end up getting yogurt or something on a step. So we don't, we just talk about it, which is fine too. I didn't print this part out, but if I wanted to work more with states, this would be something that I would. The experiment looks fun, and I'm happy that I looked at this because Valentine's Day is in, you know, 2 days. So we will probably do this maybe tomorrow, actually. So I double-sided this so I can keep it forever, and then I did copies of the data on black and white for the students to have. I always keep this so that I sound smart and I know what I'm talking about. And I never do these, and I never did the journal writing. Okay, and bam, that's 527 pages in a jiffy. But wait, there's more. We can't forget about printing the books out, but I need to see that the printer still has paper because I've been printing a lot. So tomorrow I will have one of my paras work on the laminating and start cutting it. But it's not a big deal if I don't have everything done, which, shocker, I don't. Sometimes it takes me weeks. And someone had cardstock in here. That is irritating, but it's okay. Sometimes it takes a while to get to everything, which is fine because a lot of the lessons that I'm doing don't show up till like week 2 or 3. And so really for tomorrow, the only thing I need is the word wall words, and everything else we introduced digitally on the first day anyways. And also News 2 vocabulary sitting here on the printer because I forgot about it until we were doing the lesson today, and I was like, no, I don't have it. So yeah, this is just all of the activity pages that I printed. It looks a little bit bigger than usual because, again, half of it is cardstock, but whatever. And just for funsies, we'll just go back, use my bookmark. Unique learning system. Unit lessons. So then if you need a specific thing, you can always come here. Also, make sure you have the right one selected because this has happened before where I start printing things and I realize I've randomly got this unit or something on. We're on unit 6. So yeah, if you need something, these are the most common ones. So like the word wall, the spelling words. Again, I like to go to leveled PDFs. And then here's everything you need. So level D, level AA, level E, and level C. Level E, usually my kids aren't reading, I'm the one reading it. But something to remember is the level D is the exact same as the adaptive one. So I just print the adaptive level instead of the level D. So I don't have 2 books that are the exact same except for one has picture symbols because honestly, all my kids like using the picture symbols whether they need it or not. And we can go PDF, print, hello, America. One thing to be careful of is, yeah, I'm clicking the level C book, but you'll notice that the level C is right here, and then it also has the level D on it. So sometimes if I'm not paying attention, I've gotten 2 copies of the book accidentally, which I didn't need. But this is the level C. So I'm going to go page 1 to 9. And then I need 2 pages per sheet. Then it's just not so wasteful with that giant picture of an eagle and a map on it for a couple of words. So let's see, one-sided, perfect. So let's see, that was the C. I've got the C and I've got the D, so I need the double A. And so page 1 to 9. And 2 pages per sheet, print. And then we need the easy reader. Community celebrate. Okay, so page 7 to 17, and I do full size because those are a lot of words. Print. Also, so tomorrow, so you can go tools and PowerPoint files, and they'll show you things like the printing guide, which I don't necessarily use. I like my own version. But say tomorrow I'm going to introduce this. They do have a PowerPoint.
United States. Symbols. Flag.
But it's nothing special. It's literally just someone reading.
Eagle.
And I would just rather do it myself. And you'll notice I have a big gap right here between February 5th to now because we've been doing a lot of 100th day things. We've had some days off and we've had Valentine's Day stuff. So we're just now getting into this. So let's see, I was in Unit 5. I'm going to go with Unit 6. That's the recommended, and then excluded dates. So then for excluded dates, we don't have school the 23rd, but we do have school on President's Day. I don't know why. And then we have spring break this week, so I'll just have the end of the unit be on the 8th. So that's our only excluded day. And then I'm going to change this to be the 8th. I always just let it do it, and then I can fix things as I go on. So like I don't use the journal writing, but I'll just delete that every single morning if it shows up. I don't usually do the science experiment or the craft right away, and that's what this wants. So I'll just delete it and move it to when I want it. So create my plan. Voila. So then you end up with a giant pile of paper, but I plan on using this for a while, and it repeats every 3 years. So I save everything in binders so I can use it again. Hooray. So this can just go right to be laminated. These I don't laminate. They go in sleeves. This is for craft, so that's not going to be laminated. This I put in sleeves. You know, like dry erase sleeves. That's what I'm talking about. I do have to go through this because I know the vocab words are in here. And I have made that mistake before where I laminate everything and then I realize, oh, I don't have what I need. And see, it's not in there. It must be in here somewhere. Was I carrying? Oh, no. I think they're still in the printer. Ugh. Voila. And then pretty much most of the stuff that's in here is laminated. So I'm not going to show you everything because we've already seen it, but I'm just going to run through this just in case. The pasta we're using for a craft. So these need to be re-hot glued. It's a problem. Come back. I usually have a laminating pile going on. So like I have a 4th grader who's really struggling with geometric shapes, geometric terms. And so this is for him. I love finding worksheets and then working on worksheets, but then if they're still continuing to struggle with that, then I'll make whatever that worksheet is into a file folder. I do different colors so that I can get multiple things in one file folder, but then not have to worry about like, oh no, which word goes where? Like if it's the same color, like saves my life, saves their life, because sometimes there's a lot of options and I'm also not quite sure. And then, yeah, somebody else is working on this. So this is my example of our little flip chart of beginning fractions. If you're new here and you stuck around, leave me a cute little emoji in the comments below. If you're wondering, I teach everything special ed at this school. So if you have an IEP and it's not speech, you're mine. Hello. So I have some students that are self-contained, some students that are behavior only, some students that are your typical like resource style, and others that just do like pull-out reading, pull-out math, or they just need support in the classroom. It's a whole gambit of things. And so I always have just piles and piles of materials around. I've got kindergartners who don't know their letters, they don't know how to spell their name. I have a student that's nonverbal and we use a speech device. I have students on the unique learning system, which is the alternative curriculum, and I have students on the normal curriculums that just need more support. Like, you name it, I probably got the materials for you. And that's why this room is always such a disaster land, but that's okay. Okay, I'm going home. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more, leave me a comment down below to motivate me to edit all my videos and put them up. Okay guys, thanks, bye.